What's up, guys? IFBB Pro, I'm Almodovar, and we are back again for another video. Thank you guys to all of you who liked, commented, and subscribed on the last video. It did really well, which is awesome, just as well as all the other videos. So I've got James Diaz behind the lens with me. We are here in a local gym. This gym is actually a gym that felt like home, always has felt like home, and it's actually one that I trained, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. This was my home gym. And I trained here leading up into nationals. So it's good to be back. We've got some pure iron, no rubber stuff here, not a commercial gym, just a nice, beautiful hole in the wall, some nitty gritty looks to the gym. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. Today we're gonna be training some hamstrings and glutes. I have 2 leg days right now in the split, so it's not gonna be too intense. We're kind of keeping it just slow, controlled, and a lot of focus on contractions here. So let's get into it. We're just warming up. I like to warm up the hips, abductors and adductors. Nothing too crazy here. I used to do like really good working sets here. And then the shape of my legs was kind of becoming wellness. That was actually some of my feedback, was that I was bottom heavy. So I do still hit them just because I like to warm up every single part of the leg and kind of just like open up and stretch out. But I'm not hitting this for any crazy type of working sets right now. So, just a nice little stretchy stretch. All right, so last video, what was it, shoulders? We did shoulders, right? Yeah. And we were in the midst of prep. Was a little bit leaner then than I am now, which is totally normal because we were en route to Pittsburgh Pro and progress was good. Coach and I were checking in weekly, things were going well. And it's funny because life will humble you very quickly. I ended up coming down with walking pneumonia. So if you guys can still hear, I'm like kind of a little still nasally. I still have some mucus and all of the nastiness coming up. So yeah, I was 5 weeks out when it literally took me out completely. So I couldn't eat, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't train. And it was literally the week of my spring break from work that I ended up calling it and being like, we just can't move forward. I mean, from that point, we would have had to really push, and coach and I were just like, it's not worth it, considering, you know, we have the entire season. So it's funny how God will humble you quickly, right? When you don't slow yourself down and you don't take the time that you need in order to recuperate and rest, your body will catch up to you and your body will tell you no. So as much as mentally I wanted to push and I wanted to keep going, my body completely shut down on me. That sickness completely took me out. And it's not my timing, right? It's God's timing. So always, when you feel something in the bottom of your heart, it's very easy for you to just continue pushing. And if you know me, you know that I will drive myself into the ground before I ever take a simple nap. So don't be like me. Listen to your gut, listen to your voice, listen to your body, listen to God's timing and what he's calling for you to do in that specific season. And for me, it was to rest, and I was disobedient. I just continued to push. Mentally, I was feeling it, and physically, I completely was blown out. So very happy. Coach and I have slowed it down right now. We're taking the time we need to kind of let the body recuperate. I'm finally back into the full swing of training, which is wonderful. And then, yeah, we're just looking for summer shows. So that's exciting. I will be back in prep. So make sure you guys follow the journey. But like I said, you just got to trust. You just got to trust and listen to your body. At the end of the day, it's going to tell you what you need, not what you want. So. That was heavy. So I'm really trying to focus on not yanking the weight and making sure that the contraction has somewhat of a hold, anywhere from 2 to 3, even 4 seconds. Because especially on this type of piece, when you're really in a vulnerable position for your L4 and L5, your lower back to start to take over and get a pump, you really want to focus and make sure that you're hitting the contraction, slowing down the negative, and not just swinging the weight. You want to isolate the actual muscles that you are attempting to hit instead of overcompensating with other muscles. Sure, the weight can be heavy, but if you're not hitting what you're actually trying to target, it's useless. So, all right, so if you guys notice, I'm wearing a new tee, a little bit of the logo on the back. So my signature is on the back, just to patent it and say that it's mine. This is a design actually funny. It's got a lot of depth to meaning for me, but it's actually on the Stairmaster, having a really, really rough mental day, genuinely like crying, feeling like I couldn't push forward, feeling like I couldn't do it. This was kind of one of my like mental breakdowns. If you know prep or you know working towards a vision that many other people might not see, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of insecurity, and many pros might not talk about that, but there are moments where you're on the stairs and it's just you and your thoughts, and you're the only one that can push yourself out of that hole. So I was just praying, honestly, over the perseverance and the energy that I need to push forward and keep moving. But regardless of it all, the phrase set apart is found in the Bible several times. And basically it means that you don't walk like the world, right? You walk aligned to your own specific purpose, whether you believe in God, whether you don't. I believe that I was set apart. I believe that I was called to do specific things, just like everyone is. Everyone's given gifts for a specific purpose. And I've never felt like I've settled in or fit in with the crowd. So that's kind of what this means. So I will be dropping these for pre-order. Again, this is a design that I created myself that literally came to me while I was on the Stairmaster. So we'll see how it does. To me, it means a lot. I'll go into further depth, definitely in another video, explaining a little bit more about the emotional and spiritual side of what it means to me. But if you all feel like you don't fit in, you are not meant to. God is not calling you to. So just remember, you are set apart. You are chosen and called for specific purposes. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. So if you all like them, we'll be dropping them for pre-order. Nice next level tee, perfect fit. James was laughing at me because I never wear shirts that fit me. I'm always drowning in them. So he's like, wait, this is too small for you. So this is a large. I'm definitely gonna need like a 3X to be fitting comfortably the way that I usually wear shirts, but make sure you all grab them when they drop. It's fine. Just do RDLs with this up my nose. I've actually done that before. I'll stop when I'm dead. All right. So loud. I forget it's such a quiet gym. Like, was my barking loud? Not bad. So right now, I usually next would do a hip thrust. However, everyone's on the sniffs, and I was gonna do glute kickbacks next, but everyone's on the cables. So we're gonna do Bulgarians, which I had in the plan anyways. If you're like me and you have raging OCD, it drives me nuts when I have to switch up the order of my training. But I mean, in today's day and age, the beautiful thing from COVID is that a lot of people jumps back into health and fitness. They're taking care of their bodies, so the gym is more crowded than a mall, which can be a challenge, especially because it's midday. So usually it's not the like 5:30 o'clockers, which is the usual time that I come. But we make it work. We're just gonna switch up. So my OCD is not happy about it, but still getting it in, still getting it in intense. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And I also changed my shirt because my OCD was not allowing me to have a shirt that was like too tight. So now I'm swimming in it, and now we're ready. This is the wrong strap. I give up. Do you see how much it threw me off that I had to do something different? I didn't even grab the right straps. I'm not well. Oh my gosh. My Mary Poppins bag. Okay. All right, so right now we're gonna do Bulgarians. It's quite the movement. If you've done them before, you know that they're definitely a love-hate. My glutes have come up a bunch using them, so that's wonderful. And we've kind of eliminated some of the discrepancies between one of my legs being larger than the other, which is great when you're doing something that is single leg instead of double, because a lot of times, obviously, you know, let's say, for example, you have a right leg that's stronger than the other. In a leg press or a squat, it's easier for the stronger leg to compensate and take over. So you doing a single leg movement is really important for you to kind of eliminate those discrepancies and make sure that you are training each leg to fatigue. So we'll do some dumbbell Bulgarians. I'll show you guys the trick that I like to use to make sure that you're stabilized. And we'll get in some good sets here. You can hear me? Okay, so for Bulgarians, it's always hard because you're trying to stabilize yourself and make sure that you're balanced. So for me personally, I put my buns on the seat. Hold on. All right, so I put my butt on the seat, stretch your leg out straight. If you're a pro, you know this tip. If you're not, you're welcome. Heel goes straight out, leg is straight out, and then you're gonna stand right up into that leg. So that's gonna make sure that your distance is perfect enough for the bench. For this right now, I'm focused, since I'm doing hamstrings and glutes, I'm focused on my hamstring and my glute. So usually for a quad, you're gonna make sure that you're staying up and over the knee, right? And kind of coming straight up and straight down. For hamstrings and glute focus, I'm gonna lean forward and make sure that my upper body is staying over, just so that I could really drive through that glute and get that tie-in, which is what we're looking for mostly in figure. So that's gonna kind of mimic if you're on the leg press, for example. Narrow and close is for quads. Outer and upper is going to be for hamstrings. So that is the little pro tip. We're going to go 3 by 15 here. Some guy the other day asked me if I was wearing shoulder pads. It was great. I said no, but yes. 160-pound linebacker. Okay. Also, another tip, when you're working in between legs, same thing with a row, right? If you're doing a dumbbell row, make sure you're taking a good rest period in between, because a lot of people think, yes, it's one set, right? Because you're doing one leg and the other, that's a whole full set. Your heart rate is still kind of going down from one leg to the other. So one tip, make sure that your rest period in between is the same, and as if you're doing a whole another set, because it is the other side of your body, as well as switch up. Like, let's say this set I started with my right leg, the next set I'll start with my left leg, because a lot of times I went with my right, now I'm going with my left. I'm still a little bit fatigued from that first set. So you never want to go in with the same exact foot or arm the first rep or the first set every time, because then you're going to start to create some dominancy. So little things that make the difference. Heart rate back to normal, so foot is going straight, stand up into it, and drop it low. Drop it like it's hot. Yep. All right, so now we're moving into glute kickbacks. I never trained glutes in isolation until this year, until I got on with Damian, and it has made a huge difference just in terms of shape and tie-ins, which is definitely what they want to see in the figure division. So these, if you've seen my last video or any of them before, I use these. They can be ankle cuffs, also wrist cuffs. So I use them for delt movements, front lateral raises, side lateral raises, but I also tie them around my ankles for some glute kickbacks. So there's a lot of different ways you can do glute kickbacks. For me personally, I've found that I hit the best connection for the shape of my glute in the way that I'm about to show you. But I know there's a lot of different variations that work for others that I'm honestly gonna look more into trying. Again, I am no glute master. I have glutes because I'm strong, not because I've hit them in isolation and I know how to train them, you know, like a bikini or wellness pro. So cut your girl some slack. I built these with heavy squats, but I'm trying. So, oh God, no, they didn't do this to me. I'm about to look real small on camera. No, they did me dirty. Oh, I gotta get a step stool.
Do it?
No, my ego won't let you do it. Nah, whoever did that is wild for that. That's rude. If you don't cut that out, I'm telling your wife. That's vile. Maybe I have to climb and everything. All right, guys, so that was a little bit of my ham and glutes day. We did the Bulgarian split squats, finished up on the glute kickbacks, and then did a little bit of hip thrusts. So 5 movements, quick and easy. I do have 2 leg days, so nothing too nutty. I'm still, as you can see, blowing my nose mid-set, getting out the rest of the nasties, kind of still healing. I was telling James, like, I went back to full intensity earlier in the week and my body is still kind of giving me some pushback. So trying my best to slow down. If you know me, you know that's a challenge. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Use my codes for GASP and Better Bodies, Amanda5. And for Animal Pack, Amanda20 for 20% off. Make sure you guys follow James Diaz. He will be retiring very soon, picking up photography and videography. So make sure y'all book him, not too much, so I can still have my guy. And as always, be blessed. Thank you guys for following along the journey, and let us know what else you guys want to see.